welcome people of the World Wide Web. So yes, we didn't have a movie review last week because I was unfortunately a little under the weather and decided to rest up. But change, we are back with obviously a Micky 17. So this is the Boon Joon-ho next movie, say, in his repertoire after obviously the Academy Oscar winning Parasite. Great movie. I would definitely recommend. Yes, this is taken from, or is an adaptation of the book Micky 7. So it stars Robert Pattinson as Micky Barnes. You have Stephen Yeun from obviously the Walking Dead fame as Timo, Naomi Arki as Natasha, or Nasha, I should say, and then obviously we have Mark Ruffalo as Kenneth Marshall and Tony Collette as Eula. And they're kind of the main ones, and anybody who's seen the trailer kind of knows essentially what this is the Earth is kind of overpopulated. We are looking to populate stars. There is a spaceship that is going to search for a planet to hopefully colonize, and that's where these humans will live. And then you have Mickey's involved. He signs up as an expendable. You don't know what kind of expendable. The only thing is that they get him to do grunt work or minion work, and when he dies, they just clone him again. So he's basically like fodder for them to use. Why that's all happening, we don't know. I did really enjoy this movie. There are no after credit scenes. It is a little bit of a thinker, and it is a little bit of a 1-2. I mean, if you like the look of the trailer, I would definitely recommend. The movie is 2 hours and 17 minutes long, so it is a fairly longish movie, but it doesn't feel like it lags. There is quite a lot going on. But yeah, we will get the spoiler warning up, and we shall get into this movie. So the movie starts, you see a little bit in the trailer, in kind of on the ice planet. So the humans have reached the planet. Micky is trapped below on this ice planet. His friend Timo comes down, picks up his weapon because he's somehow fallen through the ice. Again, you don't know the rhyme or reason for this. This is Micky 17, so this is the 16th clone, so to speak, being the first one of Micky being number one. Yeah, and he's essentially like, I hate dying and blah, blah, blah. This is the world. This creature comes out. They come towards him with the little babies. They're quite cute looking, I think. And then essentially he feels like he's going to die. Then the story kind of fast forwards, and then you kind of get the origin of this story. So what it essentially is Micky, he isn't necessarily the smartest person in the world. He lives on Earth. He's friends with Timo. Timo convinces him to invest all his money in a macaroon cat business. Unfortunately, they go under. The money that they got for this was from money sharks, or money laundering from gangsters. And basically these people are out to get the two of them. So the only way they can escape, because they believe they'll find him anywhere on planet Earth, is to escape to the stars, because they don't believe he has any contacts out there. So they sign up for this. Timo is he's just recently qualified as a pilot, so he gets automatically a job on there. Unfortunately, Micky isn't that smart and that intelligent. So he just goes for the expendable, thinking that it will help him because he has no skills. No one signs up to be an expendable, so he's kind of first. So they actually gravitate towards him. You see the kind of the process of what he has to go through, how they clone his memory and stuff like this. So it's all cleverly well done. And then obviously they set off on their trip. This is where we meet Mark Ruffalo's character. So he was a former kind of candidate, presidential governor person. He failed in his to be re-elected and stuff, so he's decided to go to this outer planet. He's very much looks like he's from some sort of cult. It's very, very weird of how him and his wife are and stuff like this. And essentially, on this ship, obviously let the rich get whatever they want. These two are the only kind of rich people on it. Everyone else is on ration duties and everything else, because obviously they need to make their food last for like the 4.5 year journey from Earth to the planet that they're going to. So then this chronicles Micky kind of doing the jobs in between. You meet some of the scientists there that help kind of reclone him, and some silly stuff happens because people aren't paying attention, because they don't really, isn't exactly the name expendable. Highlights who he is, but he does meet Nasha, falls in love, and this is kind of the relationship he has. She is there for him. in bits, so you get to see like kind of his companion for this trip, and does at least look after him in some ways. This is when the story then takes you back to, they land on the planet, they find these alien bugs, and this is part of why Mickey has been sent down. So the first crew sent down, 2 of them unfortunately die because they try and shoot some of these bugs and cause a cave-in. So Mickey is basically sent down to try and get some DNA from one so they can realise what's there. And there is other stuff that goes on, and I'm not going to explain why he's 17 and how he gets them on all the deaths and everything else. That will be explained in the movie, and I'm leaving it for that because it adds more, I think. Don't want to burn it all in this review. But yeah, essentially it takes you back to where you are. The creatures obviously look like they're going to devour him, and then it turns out they don't. They actually end up saving him, even though he doesn't realise that. He is basically, the bugs take him back to the surface of the planet because they live just underneath the top layer of the surface of the planet. He manages to walk back, finds a crew, and then manages to get back on a ship. When he gets back on a ship and goes back to his quarters, unfortunately a day has passed. He was classed as dead, and they've cloned a new version of him. This is where you have the multiples, and then we learned the whole multiple thing, that this was created by a kind of psychopath on Earth that used to be a serial killer, and essentially he cloned himself using his technology and committed crimes, and because he had clones, no one could really find him until they did obviously find him. And this is when the multiple, any person found to have a multiple, everything would be destroyed. That was the law that they then agreed. And this is when the cancer, so Mark Ruffalo's character, had an action in this and said that, look, I don't think we should destroy the technology, let's only use it in space. And obviously he's using it on this ship, and you find out there's other reasons why they have this cloning, not just for skivvies. Or as I say, skivvies just manual labour and stuff like this. As time goes on, obviously you have some factions of obviously you had the interaction of the 2 Mickeys. Obviously every new Mickey kind of has a few different characteristic traits on him, and this is where you have kind of 18 is very strong willpower and doesn't like being spoken back to. 17 is very not as intelligent, quite shy and reserved and stuff like this. And these, you know, they are 2 peas in a pod and something like this, but they do want to kind of protect each other. Mickey 18 tries to kill Timo because Timo kind of set him up and believes that he was just taken for a ride in the first place. Then this kind of all leads to Mickey being used and almost killed by the senator, by Mark Ruffalo's character. Mickey 18 going to kill him, and this is when then kind of they're exposed that there are more than 2. He's captured with all his friends, and basically they're all look like they're going to be killed. In between this, you find out that Mark Ruffalo's character Kenneth, he has got a rock from the surface and brought it online, and in between that was 2 of these babies for these creatures, and he ends up killing one and holds another one hostage. This other one then brings all of the creatures out, and essentially what you learn between us is that if they don't get the baby back, and sacrifice a human life to compensate for the death of their one, then these creatures are basically going to destroy all the humans on the ship. So Mickey kind of then ends up being the kind of hero to help him. Again, I'm not going to explain all the ins and outs details. They come to a mutual way of working together, and that's kind of where the movie ends. There are a few twists and turns that you don't see in. It is shot very, very well. If you've seen Parasite in space, it looks very good. The fact Robert Pattinson is obviously playing 2 people, playing different roles, I think he's very good. I would say he's close to, if not on par with, how I thought James McAvoy did in Split, where he had the different personalities. I thought he does really well. You don't realise it's multiple people, and you don't realise he's playing different characters. And what I learned is that quite a lot of the time the director wouldn't tell Robert Pattinson which personality he's supposed to be, which 17 or 18 or so and so. So Robert Pattinson was always kind of a bit unsure, and that kind of comes through, and I think that was clever. That was very clever directing, and I think, you know, I have to be given credit for that. So what did I think of this movie? I would rate this movie 7 out of 10. So it looks very great. It is very enjoyable. In moments has a few laughs. It has a few twists and turns. It is quite a deep, I would say, thinking one. I thought there was maybe more to it from the books, and maybe the books do. There is a sequel. I don't think we will get it because it doesn't seem to be doing as good, but I really enjoyed it. It's good to see a very fresh idea from what we've seen in movies. Obviously, with the cloning, that you have stuff like Multiplicity, I would say is probably the closest movie I've seen with some person being cloned and having different personalities. But I can't think of much more to that. But to the scope and space and all this stuff, I think it works really, really well. I say it's enjoyable. I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece, but I very much enjoyed the movie. Have you seen Mickey 17? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. Have you read the book Mickey 7? If you'd like to know, if you'd like to let me know what your views, do you prefer the book? There's a lot of books. Do you prefer the book or stuff? And I understand if you've read the book, you probably prefer the book. For me, I thought it was very clever, and the director says the reason why it's called Mickey 17 instead of 710 is just so he could kill Mickey 10 more times, and that's explained in the film. But anyway, I've been Cypher Signal Screen Time. Hope you've enjoyed this review. Hope you're having a nice weekend. And I shall definitely see you in the next one.